Most people think Enzo Ferrari sold cars to make money. The truth is, he sold dreams to keep his racing team alive. In 1929, Enzo was just a man with an obsession. He founded Scuderia Ferrari, not as a manufacturer, but as a racing stable for wealthy amateurs. He didn't care about mass production. He cared about the roar of an engine. For nearly 2 decades, Enzo never wanted to build a road car. He famously said, "I have never taken a car for a drive except to test it." To him, road cars were a necessary evil. They were the checkbook that funded his true love, Formula One. This is the genius of the Ferrari model. He weaponized scarcity. In 1947, the first Ferrari, the 125S, rolled out of the factory in Maranello. He didn't build it to win over the masses. He built it to outrun the competition on the track. He understood something that modern tech billionaires are only just now grasping. If you make it impossible to get, everyone will want it. Enzo didn't just sell metal and rubber, he sold exclusivity. He famously gate-kept his own product. Even if you had the money, Enzo could, and often did, refuse to sell you a car if he didn't like your personality. He turned the act of purchasing a vehicle into an audition. This created a feedback loop of unimaginable power. By limiting supply, he ensured demand never dipped. By focusing on racing, he ensured the brand stayed relevant. He wasn't running a car company, he was running a cult of personality. Look at the numbers. In the 1960s, while Ford was mass-producing millions of vehicles, Ferrari was producing a few hundred. Ford was a volume business. Ferrari was a luxury business. Ford made money per unit. Ferrari made money per prestige point. When Henry Ford II tried to buy Ferrari in 1963, Enzo led him on for months. He used Ford's interest to drive up the price. Then, at the very last second, he walked away. He insulted Ford in the boardroom. He kept total control. That move didn't just hurt Ford's ego, it sparked the legendary rivalry that led to the 24 Hours of Le Mans battle. And that battle, it turned Ferrari into a global icon. Enzo was a master of the pivot. When he needed more capital, he didn't lower his prices. He leaned into the racing heritage. He made the brand a synonym for victory. Even when Ferrari wasn't winning on the track, the brand's history made it feel like they were. He cultivated a specific aesthetic, Rosso Corsa, racing red. That color is now a trademark of power. It is instantly recognizable. It transcends the machine. It is a signal of status. He did this without the internet. He did this without social media influencers. He did this through sheer force of will and a relentless focus on the Ferrari name. Think about the modern Ferrari strategy. It hasn't changed much since 1947. They still restrict production numbers. They still force customers to own multiple Ferraris before they are allowed to buy the special editions. They keep the resale value of their used cars higher than the original MSRP. That is a miracle of economics. It shouldn't work, but it does. Enzo realized that a car is a depreciating asset, but a brand is an appreciating asset. He spent his life building that brand equity while the rest of the automotive world focused on assembly lines. He didn't want to be the biggest, he wanted to be the most desired. That shift in perspective is the difference between a company that survives and a company that defines a century. Enzo died in 1988. He left behind a company that had transcended the world of transportation. Ferrari is now a fashion label, a theme park brand, a racing legend, and a status symbol. It is a company that is worth more than most nations' GDPs. Yet, if you look at the factory in Maranello, the soul of the company remains exactly as he designed it. It is obsessed with the track. It is obsessed with the engine. It is obsessed with the feeling of the drive. The billionaire power Enzo Ferrari built wasn't just about selling cars. It was about creating an ecosystem where the customer feels like they have achieved something by spending their money. He made them feel like they were part of a lineage. Most companies try to convince you that you need their product to make your life better. Ferrari convinced the world that you need to be better to even deserve their product. That is the ultimate marketing hack. That is how you build a dynasty that outlives your life, your failures, and your competitors. He didn't sell cars to the world. He sold the world the idea that they were worth less than his car. and people lined up to pay for the privilege. So the next time you see a red car streak past you, don't just see a machine. See a lesson in leverage. See a man who decided that he wouldn't play by the rules of supply and demand, so he simply wrote his own. Enzo Ferrari didn't want you to notice the business model. He wanted you to notice the speed. And while you were distracted by the engine, he was busy buying the future. The question isn't why Ferrari is so successful. The question is, why are we still so willing to play the game he invented nearly 100 years ago? Is it really about the car, or is it about the fact that Enzo Ferrari proved you don't need to be the biggest to be the king? You just need to make sure the world can't live without your secret.